What's up, y'all? We back with another special episode of the RiSSky Powerhouse Pod. Got another special guest in the building with me. But before we get into the thick of things, y'all definitely should take a look in the description. Give me a follow on Twitter. Follow the RiSSky Powerhouse on Instagram as well. We be getting real active in the spaces on Twitter. The space community is growing, and that community have definitely been helping the channel grow. We have the 1,530 subscribers. You know what I mean? And it all starts with the different social media platforms, you guys sharing, commenting, retweeting, all of the on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that keeps everything booming. So, having conversation, live conversation as the playoff games end, while the playoff games going on, you know what I mean? That is actually helping the RiSSky Powerhouse grow at a significant rate. So, we back with another video, man. We back with another video. We got some more professional athletes already recording and getting out to y'all as soon as possible. We got a couple more set up for the summertime. So it's about to be a lot a lot more work coming through, so that y'all can enjoy it for the betterment of y'all, for the content, you know what I mean? So y'all look forward to those things. But without further ado, I got my boy Darius. Hey Darius, let them know who you are, what you represent, where you're from, just something about you, for the folks.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Darius Ricks. I am from Southampton County, Virginia. I claim Franklin, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Me and Kendall go way back, man. Shaw University, class of 2014, sound gang. He was in the drum line. I was in tuba section. He from Norfolk, Virginia. 757 ties is very, very strong out there, man. And as soon as we met, we just clicked like that, bro. Like, brotherhood is very important to us. Is very important to us, and I see this guy as a brother, motivator, man. And shout out to all the things you've been doing lately, bro. Like nobody, if anybody, as a young black man, gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, you on your shit, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. And it's all about consistency. We were talking before we got on camera. It's all about consistency, consistent every single day, just trying to take another step, whether if it's 1 subscriber or 30 subscribers in one day, whether the video get 10,000 views or 30 views. It's not about necessarily the numbers. It's about doing the exact things week in and week out, day by day, hour by hour, because it's compound interest. It adds up, it adds up, it adds up. Yeah. All of those days that you take off, it slows your progress. So you make sure you get a little bit of work each day. And each day you're progressing, and building content is building a library for when bigger opportunity comes. You can then be prepared to present a product that can be sold, that you can get paid through. That's why I'm getting these athletes that's from America, that went to big schools but didn't necessarily make the NBA, because then that activates a market where there's a lot of stories that we forget about, players that went to the University of Connecticut, like Stephen Enoch did in my first professional interview. Players that went to these two schools, like Amir Hinton, that was my second professional athlete, that averaged 31 points and ended up going overseas and having some NBA experience. Dog. You know what I mean? And now we're getting players like DeMario Mayfield, went to the University of Georgia, transferred to the University of UNC at Charlotte, you know what I mean? Ended up getting overseas, and now he have had a 9-year professional career overseas. It's a lot of stories that, these dudes were. Enoch was the 2014 Gatorade Connecticut State Player of the Year in 2014. Mayfield was the 2009 Georgia State Player of the Year. So the stories start to get lost after these guys get out of high school, once these guys get out of college, because they didn't, quote unquote, make it in the NBA. You know what I mean? It's success outside of just the NBA. So it's good to highlight those stories and provide a market that haven't been tapped into yet.
Yeah, man. It's just everybody getting an opportunity to showcase themselves, bro. And that's the expectations we're doing right here. Just showcasing people that you never heard of, bro. It's so many people that you never heard of, because there's so many people in the world. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like Amir, when he came to campus, like, he was just had that alpha dog mentality. It just, everybody starting to know, like, hold up, where's Shaw at? Shaw and Raleigh. And like, bro, I'm telling you, like, we in pep band games, bro. We in that little box, bro. We in a little box at Shaw, man. And you see scouts, bro,
in the gym. I remember I was there. I was at every game. We used to go to games an hour and a half early because like the game started at 1, you had to be out there at least 11:30, 11:40 because if you thought you was gonna pull up at 12:40 and the game started at 1, you're not getting in, bro. You're not getting in.
And I'll say like, bro, it's crazy because you never would expect that because it's like Shaw. Like Shaw is such a small school, but that was the second time I seen like professional scouts in the area. The first time I actually seen it was when it's crazy. Your boy Darius Leonard, scouts was at North Carolina Central game scouting him.
Yep.
And now he's like one of the top linebackers in the league, bro. Like it's crazy, bro. Like the exposure for like small schools, mainly historically black colleges, that's something we had to push. And you know, like guys like Dion, like pushing that narrative.
Now Mo Williams on the basketball side of things.
Yeah.
You know, these dudes, you know, it's a shame to say, but you know, everybody follow the trend of what's hot or what they think is popular. You know, if there are some people that watch videos or you know they might have subscribed or like shared something, but off the strength of their friends shared it, and I appreciate that. I'm not poo-pooing it, but there's some people that you know they shared it because a lot of other people shared it, or they're tweeting things because they see everybody else tweeting things, and it's because once they see the success and they see what it can be, then they want to be a part of that success. They don't really want to be a part of that work. So like we don't see that Darius Leonard had to, you know, probably get out his tape to a bunch of people and every day practice hard, you know, come into communication with dudes who are at that higher level. You know what I mean? We don't see all of that. All we see is, okay, he went to a HBCU, he made it to the league. Now I can go to a HBCU and make it to the league. So yeah, man, just make sure when y'all following the trends, man, y'all setting the trends. You know, you don't gotta follow the trends to be inept. You're not inept if you don't follow the trends.
Yeah. Shout out to South Carolina State, man. Y'all starting to become a little NFL factory out there, man.
For sure. South Carolina pushing out a lot of guys.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm an NBA guy. Shout out to the RiSSky POWERHOUSE. But yeah, so let's get into it. You know, the ins and outs with D. My man Darius just started his football podcast, more so talking about, you know, life, football, you know, how to get to the league, college, draft, everything football, all things football, and the business of what football brings when you become an entity and all of those things. The ins and outs with D. Y'all should definitely subscribe on YouTube, follow him on Instagram, and keep up with it if y'all the big football gurus and all that stuff. My man have the deep depth analysis, so get him just a small, you know, take of what made you start the ins and outs of D, how you view the ins and outs of D moving forward.
Well, growing up, you know, me and my dad, we're big football heads and stuff. You know, I played football a little bit, but then, you know, I treated the band, but I always kept up with football, you know. Like, I literally, like, unless I'm not watching anime, I'm watching football, bro. Like, I'll watch old games, like, you know, I watched an old game the other day. I'm wearing Stephen Nair's shirt.
Shout out to Steve.
Rest in peace, man. But, you know, like, I always loved watching NFL, always kept up with it, always wanted to watch, like, other shows up there. Adam Schefter, like breaking news and stuff like that, getting information, learning about, like, you know, just like what you do, you learn deeper about like staff members, like they were former players and how they relate to, okay, like what are you going to do for these certain teams? Are you a disciple of Andy Reid, Mike Shanahan, Belichick, or even like guys from like college, like Nick Saban, Ryan Day, what's my other guy? Mario Cristobal at University of Miami. You know, guys like that. Just try to bring some information that a lot of people don't know about, and just, you know, when I talk about it, it's getting you mind boggling. You're like, oh wow, so he knows this type of offense. So how do I break that offense down? We go through like schematics, bootleg offense, run heavy, you know, like stuff like that. And then it's also, I'm not just gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna have some players stuff there, but I want fans to be interactive too. I'm gonna have like a lot of my friends and stuff who are NFL fans, and let everybody know there's a lot of people out here that has NFL perspectives and college football perspective, you know?
For sure. and it all comes down to what you see, what you view, and how you see it. You know, that's why I try to get a lot of guest friends, whatever you want to call it, friends, guests, appearances, athletes, whatever. I try to get those different perspectives on because, you know, you guys kind of know the way that I think and how I view basketball just off my library of work that you have been following. You know, you start to get a feel for what I'm going to sway to when different situations come about in basketball. But you know, you bring that second party on, that third party on, then you start to get a different perspective. You know, my little brother, 17, 18 years old, you starting to get the younger generation perspective. Shout out, I got Kyrie Mullen, Hampton University commit, episode dropping soon. Got his perspective on how he viewed basketball, you know, from the younger viewpoint. Then, you know, now starting to work with DeMario Mayfield, 31 years old, starting to get more guys that's in the older age because they think about basketball a lot differently. You know, they grew up in the Kobe era with Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady, you know, the heavy ISO era where you built the defensive team, you put one person up there and let them handle every play. You know, that was kind of how teams play. So, you know, it's a different feel, different vibe, different mentality, different approach. All of those things, and they're all playing the same game. We're all talking about the same game. That's what's so great. Like, you can read a verse, and, you know, your revelation from that verse might be a bit different from the revelation that I received because it's all about how you view things, what you experienced in that verse, and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, man, that's why sports is so amazing, bro. And I'm proud of you for, you know, getting it going, bro, and watch this thing grow. Like, once you started, you know, the groundwork has been placed now. So you setting the foundation for where it's going to go. So I just want you to set a high standard for yourself. I want you to set a high standard for where it's going to go, and it's going to be a big summer for you.
I appreciate that, bro. And then the one thing you said, and when you gain perspective, not only you gain perspective, but you grow as like an analyst. Like you don't always have to have that same perception about like certain people or stuff like that. You learn like, well, maybe did you look through the other lens? Because a lot of people don't look through the other lens and stuff like that. Why certain people don't pan out and stuff. It's always a story behind everything.
Yep, and that's what I tell people. We were talking about the value of a championship last night in the Twitter space, and the value of a championship is looked at differently. Like, to me, just winning is not the bottom line to me. Every championship is not viewed equal to me. The teammates, LeBron winning the finals in 2016 is not the same as James Jones being the 12th man getting the championship. It's valued all the way down from each role, you know, and the role that you contribute within the championship tells a story about what level of player you are. So if you win a championship as the number 2 option, that don't mean you can win a championship as the number 1 option, as the best player on another team. That's just not an assumption that we can make about any given player. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So we was having that conversation, and that's what we were saying with the stories, bro. There's stories within every championship, stories within losing, stories within winning, stories within the regular season, stories within the postseason, stories within the off season, and interpreting those stories with different perspectives definitely propel us, you know, to be able to give a way more broad viewpoint for the audience. And that's what I try to focus on, you know, just giving good, objective, quality content.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, let's jump into it, bro. We about what? We done went 10 minutes, know what I mean, on a sad tip, trying to give my man Darius his flowers, but now we in the thick of things. So the NBA playoffs are underway. The NBA playoffs are smooth sailing right now. We can see who probably don't have a chance of winning their series in the first round. Atlanta, done. Denver, cooked. Like, those 2 teams is no chance, in my opinion. I want to put Utah in that. But the reality of it is, I think Utah have an opportunity to, you know, turn it around, win a game here, you know, maybe win a game there if they do if they do the necessary things. A lot of people don't like Utah. I don't. I'm one of those guys. But when you just look at the series, you know, if they win a game, you know, it could turn their series. Denver winning the game is more of a moral victory. It's like, they got one. Golden State gonna run.
They
if Atlanta get a win, it's a moral victory. Like, they got one. They didn't get swept, but they're not beating Miami. So let's get into the most interesting game heading into tonight. Brooklyn back in Boston, and you know, well, take it back. Boston in Brooklyn. They're heading to Brooklyn for Game 3.
Yeah.
Boston took the first 2 games on the road, and I want to get your analysis, bro. What do you think? What do you think of the Boston Celtics? We kind of talked about it a little bit in comparison to the Brooklyn Nets.
Man, we did an episode with Josh with Proximity, and one of the teams that I mentioned was Brooklyn Nets.
Shout out to Josh Proximity, man. Hey, Josh, we got to get you in this hot seat, boy.
Yeah, we did an episode on that. One of the teams I said was the Nets. I felt like there was a good opportunity for the Nets to, take it this year and move farther. They had Kyrie now with the vaccine mandate. He's able to play all the games and stuff. Mm-hmm. But looking at these past couple games, man, just the defense that Boston is playing right now is just absolutely crazy.
Like, effort, energy.
Just that the drive, like, it's hard to, like, I seen one tweet, it was like, man, I never seen KD shoot like this. Have you not seen 2016? Like,
and did you see last year? Game 3 and 4, 9 for 25, 11 for 29 in back-to-back games.
Streaky, bro. Like, just not hitting them shots that's needed. Kyrie went off first game, and that wasn't even enough. And KD had 21, right? KD
23. I think it was 23, 4, and 3.
Yeah, 23, and that wasn't enough. So I look at this game tonight, man. They got to pull it out somehow.
Both of them dudes got to get 30 at an efficient clip. Neither one can be off.
They have to go LeBron James and Kyrie tonight. That's the type of game they have to have.
Yeah.
You remember when
41 and 41.
That's the type of game they're gonna have tonight, man, in order to pull this out. And then they have to be clean with the ball too. Mm-hmm. I think nobody's really talking about the turnovers, man. Like, KD's been turning the ball over like crazy. It's like almost at least 18 turnovers his first 2 games.
I think Trae Young had 16. KD had 14.
Well,
in the first 2 games, something like that.
Well, either way, 14 is too much, bro.
In 2 games, yeah.
In a playoff atmosphere like that, you went to Boston. Now you have to go home. You have to find a way to take them 2 games.
The people gonna hate this one, Darius. I want you to just close your eyes real quick. I want you to meditate with me real quick. I'm gonna give you some numbers, and I want you to tell me the first play that comes to your mind. 7 turnovers average per game. 35% from the field, 31% from 3.
Oh, man.
Shooting the most shots on the team. Russell Westbrook. Yo, that's
Come on, man. Come on.
KD hate Russ. KD hates some Russ right now, bro. But that's what he's doing. He's turning the ball over. He's shooting terribly.
You just give me bad memories, ain't you? Give me bad.
Oh,
memories,
Washington.
Bro. Come on, bro. Man,
yo, Russ will shoot you out of the game, man. But it's different though when you watch the game. He haven't been playing like Russ, just out of control. But that defense, those doubles, those hedges, the pick and roll action with KD handling the ball is not a good idea because he need a playmaker. Like he needs somebody. He need to come off some screen, and it's hard. Even when he coming off down screens, they bruising them, they elbowing them every single time. Yeah. But when you just look at he's speeding up. That's what it's all coming down to. When he get the ball, now he's trying to hurry up and read where it's coming from. He see it coming, he's trying to go to the other way and beat somebody to shoot over them. Yeah, and that's why my thing with Giannis and we're gonna transition into Milwaukee after this. But my thing with Giannis is his way of dominance is felt every single game because he don't depend on long range shots. Yeah. Like when you shooting over people every time and you shoot from 17 feet, 19 feet, pull up threes, hezzy pull ups, going left, like that is tough. Yeah. Those are tough shots. And Kevin Durant can hit those shots. But as we're seeing a player like Giannis, he could put pressure on you without scoring 40. He don't got to get 40 and hit every shot because he's demanding a triple team every single play. You know what I mean? Like him picking, setting the pick, rolling to the rim hard. Even if he don't get the ball, he's pulling people for his teammates to be able to be involved. You feel what I'm saying? But Brooklyn actually have had great production from their role players. Yeah. When you look at Claxton in game 1, 13 points and 6 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. I remember in the third quarter, game 2, Goran Dragic went like 8 straight mid-range, 8 straight shots, or 8 straight points. Too. I think he finished with a good 16 points or something like that. Patty Mills, not Patty Mills, excuse me, Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown.
They've been playing him in like an alternate playmaker role where, you know, he actually sets the screen and he do like the short roll, and out of the short roll they feed him the pocket pass and he make the decision for the 4-on-3. That's actually been pretty good throughout the second and the third quarters. So they probably need to look for that more often early in the game, because if you got somebody else, you know, taking the pressure off of KD and Kyrie, you can't double everybody. You're not going to double Bruce Brown. You know what I mean?
You still have to be very attentive about those other two guys on that court.
Exactly. So with Bruce making plays is actually a better option, because while do you want KD running the high pick and roll as the ball handler with three people looking at him like this the whole time waiting for him, or would you rather, you know, get some weak side action going with Kevin Durant, while the strong side got Bruce Brown and Kyrie operating, or vice versa, having Kyrie on the weak side and having KD in the strong side action with Bruce. So that's what I think. Basically, in my analysis, Brooklyn got to score 125 points to win the game.
So I got a question for you. Who you think got to have a bigger game tonight?
Kevin Durant. I think Kyrie getting 39 was the game plan. Like, I think he got hot in the fourth for sure. You want to contain both of them. But if you had to pick, if you only could double one of them, I think everybody and their mom will let Kyrie go and make sure KD don't. Because it's the value, it's the volume, it's the presence, it's the feel, it's the impact. Kyrie 30 points is different from KD 30 points. You know what I mean? It's different. Like his ceiling is higher, and he lifts the floor and the ceiling of the team when he's on. So right. That's why I think KD gotta muster up a 12 for 20. You know, 40 points, 38 points, 37. We gotta get one of those games tonight. Devin Booker hamstring, 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
and they playing the Pelicans, bro. CJ, Brandon Ingram playing like a real legit all-star.
I did not expect him to take game 2. I'm gonna be completely honest,
bro. Me neither. But like when you got two guys that put pressure on the defense, they got two guys that can put pressure off the dribble. They got a good big that can get 15 to 18 points and stabilize all those jump shots. When you shoot a lot of jump shots, you need a big that can be efficient, big body, layups, dunks. Valanciunas is good for that. He also rebounds at a high clip. They also got Jackson Hayes coming off the bench, Herb Jones as a primary defender, Jose Alvarado, you know, as a head of the attack defender off the bench. They got some, and Willie Green, man, just to give credit to Willie Green, the dude is really coaching. Like, we're seeing the value of a good coach that make good adjustments in game and game to game. He don't just have something that he's going into the game with, and if it works, it works. If it don't, we'll go to the film room after the game and figure out the next one. No, he's changing on the fly. Okay, this don't work. Oh no, I'm not about to let Chris Paul do this. Nope, let's go to alter this. Because you gotta remember, Willie Green played with Chris Paul with the Clippers in 2011. Yeah, the Eric Bledsoe team had Willie Green on it, Glenn Davis, DeAndre Jordan, Blake. So you know I'm not gonna say he know what Chris Paul want to do or gonna do, but he have an idea of the things that he did when he was with him. You feel what I'm saying? So you know, shout out to Willie Green, shout out to Monty Williams. I think Phoenix still gonna win the series. I think New Orleans might get one more win, but with Chris Paul having the ball more often, you're getting rid of Devin Booker isolations with Chris Paul pick and roll, and either one of those aren't. That's not a good option for the defense, bro. It's efficient offense no matter what the defense does.
Yeah.
So yeah, then when you also look at the fact that Chris Middleton, you know, torn MCL, that's gonna be tough. I think Milwaukee can still get through Chicago today. I think Chicago didn't have a single chance, in my opinion, when Milwaukee is completely healthy. Now that the door is open, I think they have to do A, B, and C to put themselves in position to win. Yeah. But I don't think it's just a foregone conclusion that, no Middleton, it's over. No, and that's far from what I believe, because like I said, Giannis going to take 3 people to the rim with him every single play.
And Milwaukee's still a better team, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Billy Donovan a good coach, but I don't think he had a personnel needed. In Chicago, as of now, they need this offseason to, you know, build their front court. You know, Patrick Williams is good. Vucevic have been good in game 2. He wasn't as good in game 1, but game 2 he was pretty solid. But Tristan Thompson as your backup at 6'8", that's not gonna work. You got Brook Lopez at 7 feet, Giannis 6'11", Bobby Porter 6'11", those guys bring size, and then with the shooting out with Portis and Lopez, it really creates an issue because you got rim protect. This is the weirdest combination. Like with Brook Lopez, he gives you rim protection, average rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
He stretched the three.
Yeah.
And he's 7. Like, he gives you the things that you need from your big man to counteract what Giannis can't do. But he also gives you some of the things that Giannis can do, like the rim protection. Now Giannis can roam and be a help defender. You know, the threes. Now Giannis can dunk.
Yeah.
You know, the rebounding. Now Giannis sometimes can run the transition instead of trying to be on all the boards. You know, Brook not gonna get you 10 or 11, but he can get you 7 or 8. And Giannis gonna get you 11 or 12. You feel me? So the rebounding counteracts each other. The threes counteract Giannis in the paint on offense. It's just a perfect storm with Brook Lopez. And Bobby Portis off the bench. You can play Bobby at the 4, Giannis at the 5, and run 3 guards because of the physicality and the toughness of those dudes. They cover up a lot of mistakes on defense at the rim, with energy, with effort on the perimeter. So I think Chicago, you know, shooting all those mid-range shots is going to, you know, make it hard on them.
Well, said a mouthful.
For real, bro. Like, they shoot mid-range. They shoot a lot of contested shots. It's just like KD and Kyrie, what we seeing in Boston. When you're playing up against a good defense, those mid-range shots is hard when you got 2 people.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And then when you look at Atlanta and Miami, I'm going to just leave it at that.
Oh, yeah, because you put that post up there. I was like, are you sure?
Bro, let me tell you, man. I was looking at all 8 series, right? And I said, who has the best chance for upset? This is on Facebook. This is on Facebook, y'all. This is what you're talking about. I put 8 posts up before any playoff game was started. Bucks in 5, Suns in 5, Miami. I said Atlanta was gonna upset Miami in 7 games. Terribly wrong. Terribly wrong.
My pop saw that. He said,
"What's your boys?
What are you smoking? what are you smoking, man?" I just felt like Miami was just by far a way better team.
Yeah,
especially in the bigs. And Jimmy Butler, he had that crazy game the other day.
45.
Trae Young, you know, he's still that ice cold killer. They might get one, but I just don't see it. I just got Miami going to the next round.
And that's another thing, man. And this is why we gotta. With basketball, we gotta remember the entire picture. Like, Trae got through the first play-in game, get through the second play-in game. You know, he hot, he closing games out, he shimmying, looking good.
Yeah.
Miami hadn't played for a week and a half, so they're in the back of our mind. We thinking like, oh, this, that. Forgot how good they were, really.
Yeah.
We ain't really sit on it. We haven't seen their defense sit on people in a minute. And then, you know, going into game 1, you like, maybe Atlanta got a chance. They hot, whatever. Nah, no chance. All they did was chop the head off the snake, and the snake dies. You chop the head off, and it's over. You know what I mean? That's basically how they won. If you chop the tail off, it can grow back. So we ain't worried about Clint Capella. We ain't worried about John Collins. We gonna go for that head. Yeah. And they throw, and it's worse. It's even worse. What Miami doing to Atlanta is even worse than what Boston is doing
to KD, you know?
Yes, bro, because they throwing 3 bodies at him. And they pressuring him. They pressure him everywhere he's on. If he's inside the 3-point line, 3 bodies. If he's outside the 3-point line, 2 bodies. So it's tough.
Constriction.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite series that you've seen thus far? Have you zoomed in on any series, like, particularly, like, I'm going to watch every game of this one?
Man, I'm going to have to, like, they pulled it out last night, man. I'm going to have to say that Memphis and Timberwolves series, bro. Because you got 2 young guys up and coming. You got Anthony Edwards, you know, then you have Ja. And last night was crazy, and I fell asleep on the game, but the fact that they came back, when I saw the score, it was like 25-47. And I seen your tweet the other day. You were talking about Cat, and Cat was just talking trash on the sideline, bro.
Yeah, them guys forgot, man. You know, we was in Memphis, good. You know, they was doing good in Memphis, but now we in Minnesota. You know, these guys feeling us. Man, dude, you got to close the game.
Yeah, just crazy. That Memphis team, they got some fighters, attitude guys right there, and Jolly is that group.
And that's what you like to see. Like, when I see Minnesota, I don't trust Karl-Anthony Towns because he doesn't do the necessary things that you need from a big man to win games and be successful on the highest level. Karl-Anthony Towns, can he shoot a 3? Yes. Can he step back? Yes. But can he rebound? Can he impact the game with elite rebounding? No. I don't remember the last time I seen Carl Anthony Towns get 15 rebounds. I don't think Carl Anthony Towns in his career ever had 8 offensive rebounds in one game, which is high. That's a lot of offensive rebounds. But these are the things that you need from your big. Jokic, he rebounds at a high level. Giannis rebounds at a high level. Embiid rebounds at a high level. Rudy Gobert rebounds at a high level. Like, you gotta be able to. You can't be a worse rebounder than Bam, and Bam 6'9".
Yeah.
Like, Bam is 6'9". Like, Karl Anthony Towns, he doesn't impact the game with elite rebounding. He don't stabilize the rim offensively or defensively, especially on defense. He don't stabilize the rim at all on defense. And when we talk about offense, you know, he pick and pop. You know, he get the ball at the 3, he pump fakes. If you shift, he making moves off the dribble, attacking closeouts as if he was a wing player, like as if he was a role player. He's a really good role player. Like, he's at best a second, maybe even third option player on a championship level team, in my opinion. At one point in time, I thought Karl Anthony Towns could be your focal point that you can run through, but he don't put pressure on defenses at all. He doesn't demand a double team consistently. He doesn't open up the floor for his role players. That's why you got Patrick Beverley in the first quarter handling the ball, driving to the rim, scoring, pump faking, throwing up hooks and stuff, creating for himself. You don't want Patrick Beverley, Jalen McDaniels, Jarrett Vanderbilt, Jordan McLaughlin. You don't want these dudes creating for themselves, because over the course of time, if they get 10 possessions in the game, that's 40 possessions. That's 4 role players. That's 40 possessions that's of inefficient offense, because you have a role player or a less talented guy creating for themselves or trying to create for somebody else, and they're not as talented as a player like Karl Anthony Towns, who can basically get the ball on the block or get the ball in the mid post, face up. You know, you got the shot, so I'm not saying stop shooting, but face up, you know, make a move, whether it's a spin move or you go baseline for the dunk, or, you know, you just put pressure on the rim. Go towards the rim. You feel me? Out of a position where you are already in position where the defense got to react. If you at the top of the 3 or you on the wing and you pick and you pop and Pat Beverly swing it to you and you pump fake dude jump, when you make that dribble, you got 2 people scrambling or 1 person scrambling. All they got to do is get 2 feet outside the restricted area. Charge. That's how he fouled out in game 1. In game 2, same thing. He got 2 charges in game 2. Off of what? Pump fake, you jump. He think he got a lane to the rim, but you traveling from the 3-point line, bro. It's far away. By the time you get 2 feet in the restricted area, boom, people there waiting on you. Charge. And then you screaming at the ref and you complaining and you putting on all these crazy facial expressions, becoming memes all over Twitter, because you disappointed in the ref, but you should be disappointed in yourself. So that's why I don't trust Karl Anthony Towns. Before the playoffs started, I made a hot take on Twitter. I'm taking Gobert over Towns any day of the week as my center for a championship level team. If it's me, if I'm building a championship roster, I'm taking Gobert because he's going to stabilize the rim offensively. He's going to shoot 70% from the field. He stabilizes the rim defensively. He's the best rim defender in the league. He's the most impactful defender in basketball. The issue with Utah is they have no perimeter defense. And then not only is he stabilizing the rim offensively, stabilizing the rim defensively, he eating up every rebound on offense and defense. When you shooting a bunch of threes, he cleaning them up and giving you second opportunities. On defense, not only is he contesting the rim, not only is he negating shots, he closing out every possession. Yep. So that's why I want Gobert, man. Gobert don't need the ball to be impactful at the highest level. Gobert pushing out a 25 PER, and his team neglects him. When you watch Utah, they don't pass him the ball when he open. He rolls to the rim, hands up. He got LaMelo Ball on his hip. Bro, they put Maxi Kleber on him. Like, Maxi Kleber can't jump over a piece of loose leaf paper if you put both feet together. You know what I mean? And they got Maxi Kleber on him. He putting his hands up, and they step back and shoot a 3 over the switch. Like, I don't understand exactly what Donovan Mitchell is thinking, but yeah, man. I said a mouthful right there again, huh? Look, they call me Motor Mouth.
Hey, man.
But
talk your talk, bro.
But when it's so disappointing, bro, to watch Karl Anthony Towns. Man, I watched that game yesterday. They went up by 26 in the second quarter. Memphis closed the quarter down 7. They pushed it back to 24 in the third quarter, and Memphis won the game by 11. Bro, that is ridiculous. Yeah. 2 20-point leads in one game. Don't believe in them, bro. I don't believe in them. Sorry. Carlton Towns, when they was up 20 the first time, that audio clip that you're talking about came from the second quarter. Yeah, those guys thought it was sweet. We was in Memphis early. Now we in Minnesota. We in Minnesota now. You seeing what's up, bro? You had 8 points. You shot the ball 4 times. You're totally inept and you're totally neutralized. They have neutralized your effectiveness, bro. You're absolutely nothing to the series. You're a role player.
Oh man.
And Jimmy Butler, people say Jimmy Butler was wrong for calling him soft. I'm glad he said it to his face. I'm glad he didn't wait till he leave. He didn't wait till he left, and then once he was gone, said, "Oh, those guys soft." Now he told him to his face while he was there, and then when he left, he reminded him. And every time he get to Minnesota, he tell him, "You soft, you soft, you soft." And this is the reason why. His first playoff series of his career, he averaged 15 points with Jimmy Butler versus the Houston Rockets. 15 points. Number 1 pick. He averaged 24 points that regular season. Oh, Carlton Towns right now, bro. In game 1, he had... How many points did he have in game 1?
I can't remember.
But he had 8 points last game, bro. He fouled out of game 1. He only played like 26 minutes.
But yeah, he did.
He fouled out.
He did.
and 2 of those fouls were offensive charges because you driving for the 3-point line like you're a wing.
Elbowing the mess out of them, boy.
Bro, but yeah, man, the playoffs been definitely interesting. It's definitely been fun to watch. You know what I mean? It's been great. It's been great, man, to have playoff basketball back alive. Seeing these young guns get an opportunity. You know, all of the old players, the veterans. You know, the James Hardens of the world, the Russell Westbrooks of the world, the Paul Georges of the world. I think those guys are coming into a time where, you know, we're rotating into the new generation. Like, we love the old guys, man, but when you just look at their level of effectiveness, when you look at how these young guns are getting better every single year, how quick they're getting better,
yeah,
you know, I think next year is going to be the year where, you know, guys like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, I'm not going to say Paul George is done, but I'm just saying, like, you know, he's not going to be one of the more prominent players anymore. Like, it's going to be, we got to watch out for what Zach LaVine is doing, what Donovan Mitchell is doing, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, LaMelo Ball, Trae Young, Luka Doncic. All of these dudes been drafted in the last 5 years. So now they're hitting their strides where, you know, we're starting to see who they are truly as a player. Year 5, year 4, year 6, you know, and it's just good to see these young boys getting it going. But yeah, you got any closing remarks, man? We're going to go ahead and wrap it up right there with that, bro.
Nah, man, this was a great episode, bro.
Tell you.
First time being up here, bro. Just dope. Just appreciate everything you're doing right now, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Dot me up, bro. Get out of here. Oh, my man. Yeah, we got I'm Kendall Bishop. Got my boy Darius Ricks. I want to give a special shout out to my boy Naeem Wilkins with the Keep Going Apparel line. I just want to inspire y'all to make sure whatever y'all doing, no matter what it is, what field it's in, whatever it is, you just get up every day and don't ever stop, man. Take that next step. Keep going. You know what I mean?
Keep going, bro.
Keep going. Keep striving. It don't matter what it is. You could be a nurse. You gotta want to be the best nurse you could possibly be. If you're a surgeon, you saving as many lives as you can. If you're a football coach, inspire, teach. Make sure your players got what they need. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And with that being said, man, shout out to my boy Naeem Wilkins, man. But with that being said, man, it's Kendall Bishop. Got my boy Darius Ricks. Y'all like, comment, subscribe on the video if y'all made it this far. It's the RiSSky Powerhouse. Y'all will see me later, and we out of here.